Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Pre-Market Live Show. Today is Wednesday, December 10th. It is rate cut day, so we're all excited about that, I think. So we'll be talking about that, and we're talking about what's going on in the market. All information presented here is for educational and informational purpose only. It's not intended as financial advice, so always do your due diligence. How are you guys this morning? And there's your heat map right there. Microsoft, surprisingly, really red. I thought it was looking pretty good yesterday, as a matter of fact, but I guess not hitting that. It was getting up onto that 20 and then pulling back. A lot of them are doing that right now. So that is what your Microsoft looks like. Your SPY is down a little bit right there, and it is curling down some, but it could obviously curl back up. Let's look at the minute. It popped up, came down. It's just kind of hanging out right there, down just a little, and then your Qs were down as well, and they're still down a little bit. So there you go. That's what it looks like. They're a little bit flat right there going in. So we'll be keeping an eye on them. And then let's look at our IWM right here. And that is down 34 cents as well. So there you go. And that even has that little bit of a pullback look as well right there. And that's what they look like. And I did not see any Jolie's jumpers this morning. I know there was some kind of software issue. So I'm guessing that she had an issue, because last time that happened, she had an issue with it. So, there you go. So we'll just go through the market and see what's going on this morning. That ASPC right here, we were talking about it last night. That SPAC, it was running ENVB, running up some. And then BDRX right there had been running up the last few days. And now it's kind of just like hopping around right now. So there you go with your BDRX. And let's see, HSPO. That one, Horizon Space, that was another one of them shell companies, and that was ripping up there. And then you have ESH. That's another ESHA is another shell company, and BRZE was hopping up as well. So there you go. A few Jolie's jumpers right there for you guys. How about that? And let's see, what's the news say? It's probably talking about the Fed and the rate cut, which let's see what the percentage is here. 97% today. I would say you're getting a 0.25 rate cut right there. That's what Polymarket tells us, and they like to be accurate. Stocks waver, yields advance, and countdown to Fed and the Fed meeting today. The Dow futures waver, dollar weakened slightly. There's no guarantee the Fed's cuts will lower the rates that matter, and options, positions, and strategy suggest selling could intensify if S&P 500 falls next week. So there you go. Interesting. And stocks recoil as nerves mount ahead of the Fed decision, and key AI earnings are coming up. So there you go with your news stories. Let's go ahead and see what's going on with our SPY, Mag 7, and all these guys. So our SPY was down a little bit, as we just looked at. And let's go through and look at our Mag 7 right here. Here is Apple right there, and that is pulling back. It's hitting that 20. I think you might get set back up off of that 20 right there. So keep an eye on Apple. And Amazon right here has been pulling back, but that looks like it's also getting set up right there. So not looking bad going into the holiday season. And Google right here, that is pulling back a little bit. It was kind of pulling back yesterday, and it looks like it's just bouncing around. That one looked like it had wanted to curl back up, but now it's curling down. So that's interesting. That definitely got turned around. So Google looks like it could be pulling back at the moment. And then your Meta was pulling back off the 50, and looks like it could come down a little bit more right there. And like I said, I was kind of surprised that Microsoft was down like that this morning. It had looked pretty good yesterday. So that is not looking as good this morning. And then your NVIDIA is up 20 cents. And there you go. So NVIDIA holding itself up, doing its thing in this channel right here. It looks like it wants to try to do something right there. So there you go with your NVIDIA. And Tesla right now is up a little bit, and that one looks probably the best out of them all, I would say. So there you go with Tesla. And then NVIDIA probably would be second. Microsoft was looking really good last night and yesterday going into last night, and then I don't even know what happened to it this morning. Woke up and looked at it and went, wow, something happened to Microsoft right there. AMC still flat. GameStop was down big after the earnings yesterday, and it's down right there. We'll see what's happening to it, because it was dipping down yesterday, as a matter of fact. And there you go. Look at that big dip, and it's on the 20 down there. It looks like it's pulling back and to the MACD. and we'll see what it wants to do as it gets to that MACD right there. But that is your GME GameStop, and they had earnings the other day and didn't do so well. Chewy right there pulling back. They have earnings. Weren't they before? Oh, I forget what they were, to be honest with you. Anyway, Chewy does have earnings. It could be before the bell. I kind of forget, but it's sometime today. Let's put it that way. So Chewy, keep an eye on that for earnings. And then Unity's up there in the top, just kind of hanging out at the moment. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. And of course, Netflix, I think, is a great opportunity down here. It looks like it's building the base and looks like it wants to get cruising. We'll make sure it doesn't level down, but it's not looking bad right there for Netflix. And an AVGO right here, a little bit of healthy pullback, nothing crazy. MU is up this morning right there, so MU not looking bad as it crossed through, and that's a good semiconductor one that likes to run. TSM has been running up there and looking pretty good, and SMCI is definitely getting set up right there and looks pretty good. And of course, your AMD right here looking good to get set up as well. And then QCOM was running up a little bit yesterday. It's a little flat, down 25 cents, nothing real crazy. Snow had been coming down. Snow is still coming down there, but it could try to bottom out down there, and it had a nice dip. So you might want to take a look at Snow. It's been caught in a blizzard right there going down. And PayPal dipping down a little bit. So we'll be keeping an eye on that one as it goes into the end of the year, of course. And Intel right here, just trying to get set up. It'll roll right off the MACD. And here you go with your Dell. And Dell is even pulling back a little flat. Maybe it gets rolling back up. IBM wasn't looking too bad. That looks like it's still setting up. It's down just a hair, and it does look like it's still setting up. And Palantir was ripping yesterday in the after hours. I didn't even notice that, to be honest with you. PLTR. And there you go. It was popping up yesterday, and it's just hanging out there this morning, though. So there you go. A Palantir, you can see it jump up a little bit, and there you are. So that is what Palantir looks like. Sophie's been pulling back ever since that offering right there. So see when that bottoms out. Maybe it's coming down like we had said before. It might come down to that 26 or 28 at whatever. I can't even read. What the heck does that even say? It says something 26, low 26s, and then this would be in the 25s, the low 25s right there. So I would watch Sophie to see if it wants to pull back like that. That's for sure. And that's your SOFI and Marin Riot. And these guys weren't looking bad yesterday. Mara got back onto the 20, so that's a good look. Riot and Clean Spark been up there and looking pretty good, and they're not looking too bad this morning. We'll take a quick look at crypto. It doesn't look bad this morning. Bitcoin's still at 92K, so that's good. And Ethereum's at 33.16. Solana's at 137. Chainlink's at 417. Ripple at 207. Stellar at 25. Cardano's at 46. And there you go for your stock cube prices on crypto. So that is Clean Spark right there, looking pretty decent. Of course, our strategy, a little bit of healthy pullback, but nothing crazy. As crypto, like I said, is looking pretty good. That BMNR down like 13 cents, but this thing looks good, and that UPXI and all these guys are looking pretty decent. Let's go ahead and look at crypto. Look at it. It's not green because it was up a little bit higher last night, but it still looks pretty good right there, staying in that bullish channel, working its way up there, and going to try to work its way up to this 98 area as it gets to up to this 50. So it's slowly doing it. You're getting into a bullish channel. We'll see if it wants to maintain it going into the weekend right here. That's going to be the important one. And then if it does, it'll continue to go up. So that's what we're looking at with Bitcoin and most of crypto, because that'll follow suit. Ethereum looking pretty decent, getting up to that 50, as I said. And Solana right here just getting set up, looking a little bit better. That was the weak link, and it is looking a little better right now. And there you go with Ripple, and that looks like it's rolling off, trying to rip up there. Doge, Cardano are both looking pretty good right here. If I get back to them now, hold on. And there you go. There's the Doge. It was pulling up yesterday, a little healthy pullback, nothing crazy right there. And Cardano, a similar look, but that didn't even really pull back. It just wants to continue its way up. Stellar wasn't bad right there. And that one, a little healthy pullback. Chainlink is not looking bad either right there. So there you go. and Chewy did beat earnings, huh? So there you go. Luis Rodriguez just told us, and it is going up. So there you go with CHWY. We talk about it each day. And Chewy, the internet retail, Chewy reported today results with net sales of 3.12 billion and net income of 59.2 million, up sharply year over year. So there you go. The estimates were what? Revenue was 3.099. So yeah, they definitely beat that. That's for sure. And there you go. So there you go. With Chewy, we knew it was had earnings, and I thought you said it was this morning. So there you are. Thank you, Luis Rodriguez, for that information. But let's go through and see what Robinhood's doing. And Coinbase down just a little bit this morning. And Webull is down a penny, but nothing crazy right there. Let's look at our Kodak. That's pretty flat right there. Not looking bad either. ASTS, that's not bad. ONDS have been continuing its way up. And Galaxy was looking pretty good. A little bit of healthy pullback, nothing crazy. So we'll be seeing how the market actually wants to open here. Here's Space just flat after that pullback the other day, and it'll work its way back up. Boeing right here is getting set up. It's just kind of hanging out there this morning. And then, of course, DJT has been trying to get set up as the market's trying to set up. So keep your eye on that and get the dips. Nike up 34 cents. And I wonder, Lulu's down right there. Check out Lulu. I was going to say, don't they have their earnings? I did remember they were coming up. And that is on Thursday right there. So Lulu earnings coming up tomorrow. That'll be interesting to see what they're up to. And let's see what else is going on with McDonald's right here. MCD, that's just kind of hanging out right there. And Disney had looked a little better yesterday, and it's just kind of flat on that 20. Not looking bad. And Oxy and ExxonMobil, we're trying to cruise along. They're just hanging out. ExxonMobil is still up this morning and does look pretty good right there for your ExxonMobil. And, of course, DXYZ, this one's been great. They have that's your way into SpaceX, remember? And look at this thing. It's been jumping up here, and it's got into the top. So there you go. That was a good one right there, hopping up back into the 30s. This one was up into the 40s or something before. It reverse split, as a matter of fact, and came down. Not reverse split. I think it forward split. I think this one did it. And they do have options. No, this one doesn't have the options. So this one doesn't have options. You just got to buy shares right there. And there you go with DXYZ. And like I said, that's the way to get into SpaceX. They have some kind of investment into them or something like that. And there you are, everybody. Let's take a look and see what ASPS is doing. That's that SPAC one, and that was running up pretty big right there, that shell company. Let's just see ASPC. And yeah, look at that thing. That was wild last night, and it's wild this morning, that's for sure. And your ENVB right here. And that was hopping up some more. We looked at that last night. And your HSPO, you mentioned the Horizon Space acquisition, and it ran up yesterday and just kind of hanging out. PLAB and that thing, Phototronics or something. Wow, look at that. That is running right there. PLB looking pretty good. So I want to keep an eye on this bad boy, Phototronics. Not even sure what it is, but they do have earnings coming up today, and apparently it's looking pretty decent, I must say. And DAKT, what is that? Daktronics, so all these tronic companies, and they also have earnings today, and it is ripped. And so there you go with these electronic companies right there, and that's a semiconductor equipment one. So that PLAB is what it is. So that's what the market looks like. It's a little bit flat, to be honest with you. Crypto is just hanging out, hanging in there, and not really doing a whole lot this morning. You can see them. Prices are a little lower than last night. And look at that flat market. Microsoft, Google, and Meta down. Apple, NVIDIA, AVGO, Amazon, all just completely flat. Look at that. Look, wow, that's pretty wild right there. Going into your Fed rate cut. So not a whole lot of excitement this morning, guys, I must say. And we are getting a 0.25 decrease this morning, or not this morning, this afternoon, I meant to say. At 2 o'clock it is. So there you go. Oh, those tickers already reported this morning, that ASPS. Oh, wait, the PLAB and the and that DAKT, them ones already reported. So there you go. And they must have beat their earnings because they are up quite a bit right there, DAKT and that other one. So there you go. They did report early this morning. I can tell you right here. I know FinViz does tell you the ones that report before and after. There was 659 of them before, and there's like 10,000 after. That's crazy. If there can't be that many, can there? 10,000 earnings today after. Is that what that said? Hold on. Adobe reports today. Is I guess so. I would say so. But there you go. They're the ones that report after right there. So Oracle and Adobe. So that's interesting after the rate cut. I was gonna say, what was it talking about? I don't know what it was saying right there with the that's only one pay. I was gonna say there's not that many reporting today. There was impossible. So I don't know what the hell these numbers are, to be completely honest with you. But anyway, and then these were the earnings before right here. Let's see who else had it. We should look at this each morning. There's your Chewy DAKT, PLAB right there, and a couple other ones reported this morning. So there you go, Luis Rodriguez. Thank you very much for clarifying that. And those are the big ones this afternoon. Good old what I say it was Oracle and Adobe right there. So yeah, there are pretty big ones right there, I must say. Adobe and Oracle right there. That's what I did say. So there you go. And what is this? Synapses is going this afternoon as well. I know we've looked at that quite a bit of times, and that is what it looks like. What's this MTN? That's at Val Resorts. They own all the mountains right there, and MTN, they'll be reporting this afternoon as well. So I'll take a look at that just to see what they're up to. And Culp, they're going to be reporting. Good old Culp right there. ASYS is also reporting. So there you go. And Love is in the air tomorrow morning with Love Sack reporting. Oh, yeah. Love Sack's reporting tomorrow morning, huh? So there you go. And that is what the market looks like, guys. It is kind of flat. I'm not going to lie. We're going into the Fed rate cut at 2 p.m. So we'll be seeing how the market actually wants to react to it. When Powell speaks, I don't think it's going to react to the actual rate cut. I think it's already pretty much priced in. And again, it's sitting right here on Polymarket. Everybody that wants to know what it's going to do can look at it and say, oh, it's 97%. It's definitely a rate cut. And it's been up in the 90s like for a week or two. So it's not like it was going anywhere. And so there you go with that. And your SPY is down just a little bit right there. Let me see what your Qs are doing this morning. And they are down a little bit. So it looks like they are pulling back, but they could pull back first thing this morning and then get ripping this afternoon as we get into that rate cut, depending on Powell, what Powell speaks about and says, and that Lulu, and they all, yeah, and Costco reports tomorrow too. There you go. So they have earnings, and that AVGO has earnings tomorrow. So there you go with your earnings update and everything else in the market. So crypto, not so bad. The market obviously hanging out to see what Powell's going to say right here. Everything flat. Microsoft, Google, and Meta are down. Tesla's up. Nvidia is flat this morning. And that is what it looks like, everybody. So thank you for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. And all information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. Be sure to follow along and follow along on X and Instagram and YouTube and all that good stuff. And then hit the like button on your way out of here. Hit the like button if you like the rate cuts happening today. So there you go. Give you a little incentive. So that is it. The rate cuts today. So the market's just waiting for it. I think it is kind of priced in already, but we're going to wait for the reaction to see what Powell talks about and see what happens after that. So there you are, everybody. And guess what? It's December 10th, 15 days till Christmas. And coming up pretty quick, I would say 2 weeks and 1 day away. So not that much time until Christmas. We'll be opening presents and getting ready for New Year's before you know it in the next 15 days or so, I would say, for Christmas. So there you go, everybody. Enjoy your Wednesday and be sure to trade smart and lock in those profits. And let me know if you have any questions. Shoot me a message on X, and I will respond to everybody. So thank you again, Luis Rodriguez, Robin driving to work, and Laptop Travel, and everybody else like Doge Mama 9 and Joseph Levy and Deep Soul Diving and everybody, and Asian Jolie. I think she was having a technical difficulties. Like I said, it looked like there was something going out last night. I know Laptop Travel was mentioning it and said that there was things going down. So we have to look at that today and see what's going on in the technical world. If we're going to have some outages and stuff, that's always interesting as the Fed rate comes in. So yeah, lots of things to look at this morning, even though the market's not even really doing anything, but it's just waiting for the Fed decision at 2 o'clock. I don't even think it's waiting for the decision. It's just waiting for him to talk. And that is what your market looks like this morning. So be sure to trade smart and lock in those profits. Goodbye. Good luck. See you later. And have a great day, everybody.